My name is Raj. I'm 32 years old. I live in a small apartment in Bengaluru, surrounded by noise, traffic, and endless deadlines. My life used to feel like a race I never signed up for. I was always running, always planning, always trying to reach the next goal. People called me successful. I had a good job, a decent salary, and a busy schedule. But inside, something felt hollow, like my heart was always one step behind me. For years, I believed that slowing down was the same as falling behind. I spent more time with my laptop than with my family. I missed birthdays, dinners, and late-night conversations. I missed smiles, moments, simple joys. And then, one day, everything stopped. The city went into a sudden lockdown. Roads were empty, offices closed, shops silent. Life paused in a way I had never seen before. At first, I felt restless. I walked around my apartment like a stranger trapped in his own home. Without the noise, I could hear things I never noticed. The old fan shaking, the clock ticking, and my own thoughts echoing louder than ever. For the first time in my adult life, I had nothing to chase. No deadlines, no meetings, no excuses. And that silence scared me. I realized how disconnected I had become. From the world, from the people I loved, from myself. My parents lived only an hour away, yet I hadn't visited them in months. My sister called me often, but I always said, "I'll call you later," knowing I wouldn't. Even the people in my building, neighbors I saw every day, felt like strangers to me. That silence forced me to look at my life, honestly, quietly, painfully. One evening, I stood on my balcony and watched the empty streets. The wind was soft, the sky had a strange calmness, and for the first time in years, I breathed deeply. I felt something shift inside me. I still remember that night. The city lights flickered softly. Dogs barked in the distance. And I felt small, but in a strangely comforting way. The next morning, I received a video call from my parents. Normally, I would have declined, saying I was busy. But I wasn't busy anymore. So I answered. My mother's face lit up instantly. "Raj, you finally picked up!" I felt a sting of guilt. I hadn't realized how much she missed me. We talked for almost an hour. She told me about the garden, about Dad's new hobby of drawing birds, about neighborhood gossip. And for the first time in years, I listened. Really listened. When the call ended, my father said something quietly. "Come home after all this, son. We miss you." My throat tightened. "I will, Dad. I promise." Days passed slowly after that, but for once, I didn't mind the slowness. I cooked simple meals, cleaned corners I had ignored for months, and took long breaths near the window. I began noticing things I always ran past. The sunlight on the floor, the laughter of kids from the building next door, the way the sky changed colors in the evening. One afternoon, I was sorting old boxes and found a photo of my family, all of us smiling at a beach years ago. I stared at it for a long time. That version of me felt so distant, carefree, present, alive. I realized how much I had lost while chasing something I could never hold. Then one evening, while walking on the terrace, I met my neighbor, Mrs. D'Souza, someone I had seen for years but never spoken to. She was watering her plants, She smiled and said, "You work too much, young man." I laughed awkwardly. "I used to." She looked at me with kind, knowing eyes. Life has a way of reminding us to slow down, sometimes gently, sometimes loudly. I nodded, feeling her words settle deep in my chest. As days turned into weeks, I noticed more things. The way birds returned to the skies, how the air felt cleaner, how people started waving from balconies, checking on each other, calling out, "Are you okay?" The world felt connected in a quiet, simple way. And slowly, I felt myself returning too. Returning to the present. Returning to my heart. Returning to the man I used to be. When the lockdown finally lifted, I packed a small bag and drove to my parents' home. The road was almost empty, and the air smelled like rain. When I reached the house, my mother ran to the gate, tears in her eyes. My father hugged me tightly, harder than he had in years. In that moment, I felt something break open inside me. A mix of regret and gratitude, pain and peace. We spent the day talking, laughing, cooking together. My mother made my favorite food. My father showed me his sketchbook. My sister joined us on video call, pretending to scold me for disappearing. I felt warm. I felt human. I felt alive. That day, I promised myself something. I would never live the same rushed life again. I would call more, visit more, feel more. Because in the silence of that lockdown, I found clarity. I found love. I found myself. Sometimes, the world must pause for us to truly start living. And I am grateful that I finally came back. Back to my family. Back to myself. Back to what matters.